Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the other video? This is a paid request for Dan. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, would be a review, topic, reaction, re-review, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box, pretty much under each of these videos. And Dan wanted me to do a commentary on the 1987 film The Date. So let's get right to it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. I'm at 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. We have Vista Organization Limited, Alliance Entertainment, The Date. So what can be said about The Date? A very young Stephen Dorff, of course, would go on to be in Blade as Deacon Frost, among many other films. Tripp, who would star in the sequel The Date 2, which I'm not a fan of. I do like this film, though. I think this film's a creative, fun movie that kids can watch, but at the same time doesn't feel neutered either. And just the amount of effects and creativity, that the effects worked. A lot of people worked their butts off, like Craig Reardon and others. It was a really good collaboration of people getting their creative juices flowing. And it's sad because, like, Tibor Takács, right? I think about this film and I'm like, what the hell happened to this director, man? Because he never ever recaptured that Spitfire energy that this film had. I mean, it starts relatable, kid in a suburban neighborhood, things are going a bit iffy. And pretty much they find there's a gate to hell in the backyard. Because Tibor Takács, when you look at the director, I mean, after this, yeah, The Date 2, which I don't think was nearly as good as this. He did episodes of Outer Limits and the Red Shoe Diaries, and then did a couple Mark Dacascos movies. I mean, he did this film called Sabotage that had Mark Dacascos, Tony Todd, Carrie-Anne Moss before she did The Matrix. I think Tony Todd played a killer sniper in that, and Mark Dacascos and Tony Todd, Mark and Carrie-Anne Moss had to go find Tony Todd to stop him from killing other people. Again, as this killer sniper. I remember that being alright. Sabotage. He did others. I think he did this film Red Line with Mark Dacascos and Rutger Hauer. I believe it's Rutger Hauer. And then did another one with Mark called Sanctuary, which wasn't, in my opinion, that good. And then he did like a bunch of Sci-Fi Channel stuff. I mean, Manstedo, Kraken, Tentacles of the Deep, Ice Spiders, Mega Snake, New York City, Tornado Terror, Destruction, Los Angeles, or Christmas movies. It's a Christmas Eve, Memories of Christmas. Again, none of them ever had this type of creativity or polish, or it almost felt like he gave up and said, fuck it, I'll just take the work. I'll treat this as a job. Maybe after The Date, he thought it'd be better, richer pasture of success. And when the film came out, for its budget, it did well for its budget. I mean, the film was not a $50 million success. But still made money. There you go. That's the wrong treehouse to get into. And I think the director mentioned he wanted to do this had a bit of a fairy tale aspect to it. Of course, has a dream of that tree where it got taken down, and that's where the gate of hell happens to be. Has a little bit of a poltergeist feel to it as well. So that same realm, suburbia, little kids being, a center, whether it be Heather Rourke or Stephen Dorff here. Trees down just like in his dream. But at the same time, like I say, it's a film you can see with your kids. I mean, technically no one dies. You think it's going to go that way, but it turns out, things work out for the best. Like a fairy tale, happily ever ending type of thing. And I think even as a kid, Stephen Dorff did a good job. I don't know why he never talks about this film. I don't know why he never brings up this film. I mean, trust me, Stephen Dorff. There's a lot more movies you should be ashamed of than The Gate. I mean, you did Uwe Boll film, Alone in the Dark. I mean, be more ashamed of that. I mean, I love Blade, but maybe, after 100 questions about Blade, let someone ask about The Gate. I mean, fuck, you're in Fear.com, dude, and Cold Creek Manor, and Alone in the Dark. Those are worse films than The Gate. You're in Leatherface, dude, in 2017, that film no one remembers. I mean, you look at his filmography, The Gate is honestly one of his best films. The Gate, Judgment Night, Blade. Botched is fun for what it is. That's an interesting horror comedy where these thieves, this robbery gets botched, and then there's this penthouse, but the penthouse has like traps and steel doors and killers, and it becomes like a horror movie. Interesting, gory film. Now over here we have Louis Tripp, which he didn't really do much after this. He did The Gate 2, he was the star of it. And the thing is, he was much better here than in the sequel. I don't know if it's because he's only support. I don't know if it's because as a kid, he just had better instincts. Or maybe because, Stephen Dorff just works better as a lead. It could be just as a better written part. Because Louis Tripp has, Stephen Dorff to work off of, while Louis Tripp's like by himself and just acting wonky and weird, and even though after the events of the first film he still wants to call the powers of darkness. That's also the film that the wishes come true, but then they turn to literal shit. The Gate 2 I thought was really lame. This one, I mean, the poster itself is very striking, memorable poster. I think a lot of people back in the day remember that cover on VHS or however you saw it. A little bit build up of the love of these shuttles, which will be used later on to defeat the beast. And that's the thing, you had the balance where, Louis Tripp is a bit cruel to keep moths in there and they can't breathe, but then you have someone like Stephen Dorff going, hey, that's cruel. So you have that counterbalance, which, the first, one of the many things that makes the first film work, but the sequel, I thought, suffered. Plus the sequel just saved more lower budget. But yeah, Stephen Dorff, I mean, you look at his filmography, like, dude, Again, you were in Leatherface. You were in Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star. Like, you were in Fear.com. I saw Steel, but it's not the one with Shaquille O'Neal. Again, this is one of the best films you've been in. Kid barely even fucking did anything, asshole. Damn. What? Don't worry, kid, you'll be scared of holes now, but when you get to be about 20, you'll love a hole. Well, if it's the right hole. Now this story comes back into play later where a zombie type comes out of the wall. And 1987 was a pretty good year for movies, or just horror movies in general. I mean, you had The Lost Boys, you had Hellraiser, you had Evil Dead 2, you had Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. This was a pretty good year, and not just horror, but action. You had Predator, you had RoboCop, you had Beverly Hills Cop 2. I said a lot of good movies. It was a good year for movies. Lethal Weapon. Think about that. Lethal Weapon, RoboCop, and Beverly Hills Cop 2, and Predator, and The Running Man, all in the same year. And in horror, like the goal list, Bad Taste is a fun Peter Jackson film. The Believers, bit of an underrated voodoo movie. Blood Hook. It's a bad slasher film, but it's a very weird, entertaining one to me. I actually like Blood Hook. Blue Monkey I liked with Steve Railsback. That's a bit of a creature feature, giant killer bug movie in a hospital setting. The Curse of Will Wheaton I didn't mind. That's kind of a precursor to Color Out of Space with Nick Cage, which is based on the same H.P. Lovecraft story. Dolls, rest in peace Stuart Gordon. I think that's one of Stewart's best movies. Evil Dead 2 is a classic. The Hidden is a damn good one. Jack's Bad, very underrated film with James Spader. I said The Lost Boys, a great vampire film. The Monster Squad. Yeah, Near Dark. Again, The Dream Warriors. John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness I do like. The Stepfather, Street Trash. Yeah. Compared to the horror of today, this year. Well, you saw that fun, variety of horror. That's the thing, if you have a movie with a budget enough to go into theaters, it's not going to have a plot like this. It's going to have, again, the typical A24 pretentious stuff, or a franchise milked to death like Halloween and I don't say Hellraiser, but that's going to streaming. And of course, with the 80s, you got the hair, you got the clothes. She's got the looks. Nice Dottie. She creates this damn party and she's not even having fun with it. And then what was the fucking point? Fucking hell. There's a lot of these movies, like, they create these damn parties and they don't have fun with this. It's like, what the fuck was the point? Although even Lou's Tripp in here does come off as a prick. But again, we get that Stephen Dorff, you get that bit of counterbalance. And the fact he's younger, so maybe it makes it a bit more tolerable. Because if he's going through things because his mom's death, then you could sympathize a bit more. Again, and as a kid, it's kind of like the guy who was Andy Barkley in Child's Play, Alex Vincent. As a kid, he was a much better child actor, like, but he was a better actor than an adult. Like Justin Whalen, Child's Play 3 was a better Andy Barkley than as an adult than Alex Vincent as an adult. Geode. I mean, I don't know what the point is of the geode. Trying to remember the geode stuff. What that means with the hell. I guess just never say creepy words out loud, kids. Never do that. It never works out the best. Never works out the best. You have a hole smoking like that, you think it's going to be a damn fire underneath. I mean, this is sort of the simple idea that people could, I don't want to say relate to, but like, what if your backyard had this hole that just led to the gates to hell? What would you do? I mean, I think the first draft of the script was a bit of a darker movie. Kind of like the first draft of, like, Critters was a much darker movie. And then maybe Gremlins was as well. I can't remember, but it softens a bit in rewrites. But I still think it works well for this kind of movie. I think your mind is definitely clear. They could barely lift the guy. Yeah, all these great parties that you could be doing a lot of fun stuff, and the fun stuff is levitation. That's of all the things we could be doing, boys and girls, I don't know what the first thought would be levitation. Maybe a part of the anatomy levitated, but, into a mouth, but that's where you get the first, well, maybe an early supernatural moment. Start off small and then ratchet it up. Of course, when they see this, you think automatically, okay, something crazy is up. And the sister like blames the brother. Like, what the fuck did he do? Like, look, what did he do? Have magic lines on his fucking pants? Shit. I don't blame the kid being freaked out. Like, no one thinks that was a bit fucking weird. Or maybe because he levitated 5 feet off the fucking thing. From the arms. So at least Lou's Tripp is trying to be a good friend. Same with the sister. And you know, people are a bit more freaked out levitating to the fucking ceiling. But yeah, the kids, Stephen Dorff, Lou's Tripp, again, the way they worked with each other, I thought they had decent chemistry. And while, you know, there are a couple little prickly things about the Lou's Tripp character, he does try to be a good friend, like that moment there where he showcases his own embarrassing story. While in the second one, he just didn't come off as likable at all, and they try to have that girlfriend. It just didn't really work. I didn't buy it. Didn't buy it at all. They want their buddies back. Bud zappers. Wonder nowadays if people complain that bud zappers are too cruel, make them illegal. You never know. I mean, crazier things have happened. Oh yeah, you find out later that the dog dies, and now it's messing with him as well. And it seems like this you feel for the kid, thinking he sees his mom again. Decent music too. There's a Michael Honig and J. Peter Robinson. Michael Honig worked on the Blob remake from 1988, a year after this, and that's a score I really enjoy. And J. Peter Robinson, he also worked on the Blob remake, so yeah, they both worked on the Blob remake after this, so really good score. Yeah. Aw, shit. That was always a cool effect. It's kind of the effect of when they had Freddy Krueger come out in the Nightmare on Elm Street over Nancy's bed. Some type of material you just press in, these imprints. Yeah, it's a good series of funhouse makeup effects. And there's the dog. Doyod. DOA. Maybe he jumped. Maybe he committed suicide. Now, maybe there might be people think it's a cop out that all these figures come back at the end. So that may be a reason why people don't like the film. Like, it's pretty ballsy. You kill a dog, you know, all this other stuff, and then at the end everything comes back. I don't know if it's really explained why everything comes back. Again, it seems like, you know, Dorff's here to take you decently well. Lose Tripp, of course, his outfit. Kind of guess. Gone business, back later. All alone. Yeah, you don't need that anymore. I mean, the kid makes a good point. I mean, your pet just died. Why would you not call the parents? I don't really blame the kid for that. Yeah, just do it anyway. Fucking idiot. Sister. Yeah, look at your hair. Fuck is up with that hair? Did you just scared of fright and stood there forever? You're consistently frightened? Is that why your hair is that fucking high? Your hair thinks your personality is so ugly, wants to leave your body, so it's like, this! Think you're goddamn fucking peacock? Now, of course, you know, the kid that's into heavy metal's gotta be into Satanism. But yeah, I also had the whole satanic panic back in the day. I mean, for those who don't even remember, that's the time when, hell, the news, they would say that Dungeons and Dragons turned people into crazy, insane, delusional people and all that stuff. And how there were people called as Satanists who didn't really do anything wrong. And then the people that were doing the judging, like the fucking priests, they were pedophiles. How convenient that he just happens to have the damn album with the same damn things on it. That must be one hell of an album to have this many damn pages in it, like a book. I know some albums do, but damn. Like, you get a lot of money for bang for your buck. You get an album and a mini book. Yeah, this ain't no AC/DC. Or Jetson 5, no. Put your fucking hair down, lady. You look, you got a squirrel on your forehead. What a fucking bitch. Just rolling her eyes. Stick that throat all the way down your throat. I'm sure you're used to it. You're acting like a fucking idiot. You wouldn't get away with that today, calling someone that. That word rhymes with tag. And your lead character and the little kid saying it too. That's the 80s. This fucking guy, I mean, guy looks like he's stoned out of his mind. Hey, yeah, I'll do it, yeah. Eric, Sean, F-A-G-A-N, that's his last name. F-A-G is how his last name starts, the real life actor who plays Eric, that guy. Wow, so, go figure. And yeah, I mean, this could be considered, I guess, a slow build, but at least I'm getting to know a bit about Stephen Dorff. I'm getting to... And we get this whole idea that these two used to be close, and then the sister, the bottle rockets, how you want to call them, and she just became a bitch. But it's supposed to be like brother and sister finally getting to work together, and there's a bit of an arc to it. Yeah, I think that was the present he was going to give her, because they were into that. Now she's not into it anymore. The bugs are back in the sack. So it came out May 15, 1987. Kind of the big deal at the time was that it was neck and neck at the weekend box office as Ishtar. Because Ishtar was this much publicized movie with Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, and it's this comedy in the vein of Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. And again, it cost like $50 million or something like that. It cost a lot. Now, granted, it's more the story of how big that bombed and less how successful this was, but still, is that, wow, this film, almost beat Ishtar, which was this, supposed to be this blockbuster movie. I think it still debuted at number 2, but because it was a low budget, it had a nice bit of a profit. It's a 6 out of 10 IMDb. And it's kind of the same realm of these movies like House, and I mentioned a little bit of Poltergeist and things of that nature, where there might be, quote, for kids or whatever you want to put it, but they still had a bit of merit. It wasn't just fart jokes, dick jokes, other stupid slapstick upon slapstick. It wasn't without at least a bit of edge. I didn't like the dog died, and there's more stuff to come. But I just they had to find a way to fit the exposition into this. All down in the plane crash, like the Big Bopper. Oh, yeah, there's the geode. Well, like the levitation, it just so happens that the people in the house decide to do levitation at the very same time. And this guy's gonna fuck everything up. The doofus. Apparently, it says on the trivia this guy had such a hard time carrying this thing that I don't know, they had to do something to it. I forget what it is. Well, hell, how can anything be true, kid? If we really think about that. So what does it say? But won't the guy, like, the parents come home and they want to check on, the body of the dog, and then they're going to have to ask this guy where the hell is it, where do you drop it off? Oh yeah, well, it was closed, so I buried it in your fucking backyard. What the fuck? What? You did what? It's little real moments like that, like, isn't that insulting? Like, it's little moments like that that make them a bit more of real characters. And here's Negative Nancy, party pooper. Nope. Nothing. Yeah, you're weird with that lime t-shirt. Oh, flying. Whatever made her change her mind about that? Derived by pure love and light, which happens to be the rocket because it's the thing him and his sister bonded over. That's at the end of the film. Sorry I'm not saying much throughout it. I know that's not the most exciting commentary. I like the date. I mean, I can't say I grew up with the film. I can't say that... Because I probably saw the film first. It might have been on cable. And then when that DVD came out, which had a cover that looked nothing like the kids in the movie. I don't know what the hell was up with that. I don't even know who released that DVD. I know it got a Blu-ray release later on by Vestron, which I don't have that release. But yeah, the DVD... I can't remember who the hell released that. It had some features on it, but I didn't... You look at the cover, I mean the kid on the cover's not even in the damn movie. I want to say it was Lionsgate. Let me double check. Yeah, it was Lionsgate. Just a weird ass cover. I mean, I guess it has the creatures from the movie, but it's like, who the hell is that kid? And he has like a modern type of flashlight. But, okay. Just wait till you... Sorry, I was enjoying the insults. Especially from Stephen Dorff. Suck your nose till your head caves in. That's an interesting one. I don't know how they'd be comfortable wearing those big ass headphones trying to sleep. Yeah, what a great time. Two Dumb and Dumber sleeping on your floor. One listening to loud ass music. Such a great sleepover, huh? Those are little assholes we'll see later. And the gate is going to be open and pissed off. That's pretty much the demon we'll see at the end of the film. A lot of people love sleeping with their headphones on. I could never do it because I'd roll over and it's like, oh shit, you know, don't want the thing to break. This is where we got a pretty decent build up, and now the effects are really going to fly and ratchets up more and more. You got stop motion, you got propto effects, you got zombies, you got phones melting, you got all sorts of crazy shit. Let the creativity fly. I think that's, again, a thing people appreciate. Simple enough story. It's not too long. I mean, it's a 90-minute movie, give or take. Less than 90 minutes. hell was that? Kid's got dirty socks. Well, I guess that makes it more realistic. I mean, instead of just pristine, brand new socks. Well, ooh, shit. Not the best effects here, to be fair. I don't know what you like. What kind of effect that would be? Where the things like you could tell they're not real. There's a bit of a digital. I don't even want to say digital. I don't know what you would call animation, maybe, of the bugs. Oh yeah, this is a good reveal. This is a good reveal coming up. Yeah. Pop goes a weasel. Oh shit. And that's something I always enjoyed about the film. I like films where you take one setting, whether it be a house, and you have just this carnival ride of what's going to happen next in this one location. Those are some of my favorite, whether it be haunted house movies or this type of stuff. Whether it be The Cabin, Evil Dead 1 and 2, whether it be what was a House 2, the second story, or in a film like this, you're just wondering what the hell's going to come next. So you have like this dead dog, you got this weird creature hand, the parents. Ooh, shit. Like fucking Campbell's soup. I mean, yeah, you would think a fucking face be pulled off and the head falls off. So that's why they won't leave the house. You gotta make a reason why they won't leave the house, because shit like that could happen. Yeah, it gives that illusion of, because the creativity is full force, you don't know what will happen next. And because of the era of makeup effects where it was a rivalry, people wanted to show off and show we could do it better than you. So, oh, this is our time to shine. So let's come up with as many creative ideas, weird ideas, gory ideas, funny ideas that could impress people to get more jobs, but also go, wow, they don't take those of me, because look what I did, or look what we did with this movie. You know, it was like a what you call friendly rivalry, or not friendly. It was still trying to one up each other. It's not really the case anymore. It really isn't the case anymore. You know, and that's just one of the many shames of a lot of horror films today is just like these are the type of films I enjoy and like and root for. Characters I grew to like, creativity, what you can do with a low budget. Like this is like you have people in suits and a certain perspective. Sometimes a bit of claymation or stop motion, I should say, not claymation, but stop motion. Get some scissors. I like that right there. That's another cool bit. You could just have the arm cut off, but what if it cut off and turns to like 12 maggots and then goes right back through the door? I think this is when the phone melts. You answer it, lady. I don't see you doing anything but fainting. It's a red phone. Maybe it's Batman. First split second, I thought that was going to be Freddy Krueger's ton. Even if effects like that is cool, like the way the phone melts, and those are old school cord phones. Which you wouldn't have anyone use that now. It'd be a cell phone nowadays. But back in the day, either you have the phone 5, 2, 5, or that type. Fuck does it matter what kind of demons? The bad kind. The bad batch. What kind of demons? Oh shit. Even that is like, ooh shit, that creepy more like the way the picture changed like that. Really trying to fuck with these people. Now, they say the two sacrifices. I would imagine the first time you're watching this, you're assuming it's going to be the two girls. And then instead it's Louis Tripp and the sister. Oh shit. Of course, with the way that's edited, safety of the actors, so you just see a flash of light in front of Louis Tripp's face so that the fire's not connected with the actors and hope of burning them. The fuck is the babysitter going to do, Stephen Dorff? Get mad for harsh language? Just don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. That's where you're thinking like those would be the two sacrifices. By the way, wouldn't you think that they could get you in the house? But hey, those two are not the sharpest tool, brightest bulb. Damn pink light. Maybe it's a rave to the grave under there. When does the Bible ever work? If you think about it, like in a lot of these horror movies, when does the Bible ever work? Usually just pisses them off. I mean, I'm just saying, usually that is the case. That's a giant fart. Blew its top. The hole blew its top. Ain't working. Well, they'll find out soon enough. Yep, there he goes. And this is the thing Louis Tripp's character remembers from when you go into the sequel. As in the sequel, like, his character just became very unlikable. Like here, he's actually I did better performance, seemed like a better character. But here, it just there you go, smack the shit out of him. Just do a Will Smith. There you go. He fell a long way down. I don't think you have a board, you know, big enough for that. He fell like halfway to Earth based on that one shot. That's a shot, a lot of publicity stills. The little guys holding the leg like that. A lot of like publicity stills, you have that type of shot. Oh, that must have been the piece of the ladder from like the treehouse or something. Yeah, sorry, now I'm just watching the film. Oh shit. Pull, goddamn it, pull. Keep pulling, goddamn it. Keep pulling. Those little fuckers are slower than climbing that damn hole, I'll say that. You know, you had all that pink light, but where was it when he was at the bottom? Yeah, eat a Bible. Of course, it's not going to be that easy. Who'd think it'd be that easy? So, going through some of the stuff here, we have, again, Stephen Dorff as Glenn, we got Krista Denton as the sister, Louis Tripp as the friend, Kelly Rowan and Jennifer Irwin as those two girls. And Kelly Rowan, she was actually the star of, well, not the star, but, well, was she in one of the Candyman movies? Farewell to the Flesh. She was in that movie. Peter's mother in Hook. And then the other girl is Jennifer Irwin as Linda Lee. She's been on Eastbound and Down TV show. She was in Edged Wounds, Steven Seagal film, playing the role of Linda. I don't know who that is in the movie. Yeah, Deborah Grover's the mom, Scott Denton is the dad. And that one guy that dropped the... well, maybe they come back later. I'm trying to remember if those guys come back. It's been a while since I've seen the film. I mean, there's only 25 minutes left, and then I think there's about, I don't know, 5 minutes of credits, so... And then the finale. Oh yeah, there you go. I thought they were coming back, yeah. But the thing is, like, those guys didn't get any comeuppance, any type of thing. I mean, it's that one dipshit's fault for dropping the dog in the damn hole. And they did nothing, no comeuppance, no punishment, nothing at all. So, I would like to have seen that. Yeah, it came out May 15, 1987, debuted at number 2 at 4.3 million. It grossed 13.5 million by the end of its run. 2009, Lionsgate released a DVD special edition with interviews and a commentary. And then there was a Blu-ray for Vestron Video, which, yeah, I don't have that Blu-ray. But at least the Blu-ray does have the better cover. 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, like I said, 6.0 on IMDb. Oh shit. Terry telling that story about the worker. There's the worker. I think this is when Terry just dragged away. Because that's sort of a interesting piece of the script that no one really talks about, is that you set up these two characters thinking, well, yeah, those would be the two sacrifices. And then you do a bit of a swerve, but it makes sense that the two characters we actually care about are like those two. If they're the human sacrifices, it would suck, but you care more about these. Okay, Stephen Dorff, you tried to help, but I know you can't beat Deacon Frost, but you could throw some shit. Throw anything? Throw a lamp? Oh, now you do it when the damn wall is closed. But you can't come in. Always goes back to electricity. But I was saying before, again, I appreciate films that, I don't know what it is. I think it's just taking one location and trying to get all you can out of it and what you can do with it. So you're changing either the stairs, the ceiling, the floor, the the weird but fun dichotomy of it's one location, but to be a variety of things, along dimensions, like in House and House 2. There's all the stuff you can play with and take a location. It's like Jackie Chan when he has a fight scene. He looks around. What do we be used in a fight? Here's a house. What could be used as horror aspects for this house, for stairs and other crazy shit? Pretty decent makeup effects of the zombie. I think that's more of a Craig Reardon's work, which I think he worked on some of the stuff with others on, like Poltergeist. I didn't. Cool idea, like, just like the little guys fell and turned into like a bunch of maggots. Now that zombie falls, there's a bunch of these little assholes. And I like the design of them too. I think it's a cool design. Yeah, you little fuckers. Snap out of it, kid. Get your head out of your ass. But I guess that's also part of this, that's why they didn't have him do anything, is to have this sort of, it's all my fault. Is it all his fault? Maybe because of the, he scratched his hand. And there's loose Tripp again. I mean, I wouldn't say I ever found these films scary, but entertaining and fun and interesting, yeah. Thank God his teeth aren't sharp enough to break the skin. You just see that was a very quick cut of the Barbie doll leg and the eye. That was for the ratings. I'm sure that's why it looked like a blink and you miss it. I guarantee you that's because of the ratings. That was an interesting camera movement. Sure, the phew. Now, in the second week of release, this were the top 10. Memorial Day, 1987. 1. Beverly Hills Cop 2. 2. Ernest Goes to Camp. 3. The Secret of My Success. 4. Ishtar. 5. The Gate. 6. The Chipmunk Adventure. 7. Platoon. 8. Lethal Weapon. 9. Blind Date. And 10. Crocodile Dundee, which was still hanging in there even though it came out like 86. Because Crocodile Dundee was a huge fucking hit. Well, yeah. Because that was 86 that came out. Yeah, September 86. So it lasted quite a bit. This time he is going to try to fight. Ooh, shit. He was frozen in terror before, and now he's trying to fight again, and he just still throws his ass. And the thing is, like, there's a lot of good child actors back in the day. I mean, you go back to Henry Thomas in E.T., Ethan Hawke in Explorers, Stephen Dorff in this movie. Even I'll give Corey Feldman credit for Stand By Me, and even Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Corey Haim, of course, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. I'm on, of course, the Lost Boys with the two of them. Alex Vincent and Child's Play. Yeah, I think it was cable when I first saw this, and I didn't know what this movie was, and I think I caught the second half and went, oh, fuck, okay, there's, damn, like, I appreciate the effects. Where I see the hard work put into this, because I don't know if they say what the budget for this film was. It says 6 million, but I don't know how much of that is inflated. Just they can be inflated. But I still see quite a bit of work put into that. It definitely more than doubled his budget. And was it Yeah, New Century Entertainment. Yeah, this piece of music reminds me of what the composer would do in The Blob. That weird the I don't know what sound that is on the music composition. It's like you hear like you would hear that on the Blob remake. Came out a year out, and the Blob remake is one of my favorites ever. And we get some more of the cool stop motion charm, and it just even like movies nowadays, either because of the digital wave, because the filters, where they try to rework all the coloring schemes, so then it's what it does. It makes it look everything fake or more so clean that it's unreal. I know that makes it's like it's too clean even for reality. Like reality's not as clean as this. I don't know how to put it. It has a sense of unnatural quality, and then just the huge amount of CG, and a lot of times it's just crappy digital. This is stop motion, but there's a charm to this because it's still something physically there. It's just moving differently because stop motion. Move a little bit, take a picture. Move a little bit, take a picture. I love the design. It's a very cool design. And I think as a kid, it's like as a kid, yes, you did enjoy, Ernest P. Worrell movies, like Ernest Goes to Camp. You did enjoy that stuff, but you also liked what the older people liked. Your dad or your brother or your older friends, and what are they seen, and oh, I gotta go sneak you to an R-rated movie, or even this where, as a kid, you want to live through Stephen Dorff's character, and you're fighting the monster, and you're saving your family, and you showing courage and all that. I do wonder what the monster's doing here. Maybe he's being Joe Biden trying to sniff his hair. Why did the monster do that anyway? Let me pat you on the head? Just to fuck with him. That's why. I'm going to fuck with you, kid. I mean, maybe the rules, you could say, is a bit shaky of, okay, what's the monster doing now? Well, the monster now, why didn't it just blow up the house? Why didn't it just because I believe in the original script, it did ransack the whole town, and more people died. But it just, the budget would not account for that. I didn't kind of like how Critters, and like I said, I believe Gremlins was more of a violent movie. Because I think Gremlins, the original idea was that Zach Galligan's mom died, and then other people died, and like Dick Miller, his character died, and of course Critters, I think some of the family members died, and the tornado, the whole. You know what? I mean, I don't even mind that effect. That has a bit of a charm to it. It's ambitious. That's the word I've been thinking of. It's ambitious, and I appreciate its ambition. And I wish more people would do that. Natural lighting. Use your limitations to your benefit. Oh, does he like let these guys out? I think so. I think he throws it. Well, if it's going across the world, it's going to take a lot of sacrifices. Don't give a fuck about you, kid. That's right. I don't know if there's more to the ritual. Ooh, yeah. I forgot the eyeball. Nice makeup on the hand there. And then we set this up. We gotta pay it off, which is nice to see. Again, underrated parts of a strip that goes unnoticed, but or it's obvious. Believe me, there's a lot of films that you need to say the obvious to their face. Films of today, they wouldn't know obvious if it hit them in the eye. Yeah, like this piece of music. This is similar to in the Blob remake when uh, Shawnee Smith is in the sewer and I think trying like to escape and get her brother to go get help now. In this, I want to watch that again for the Halloween season. The Blob. Of course, fucking batteries. Always gotta deal with the batteries. Those damn batteries. They're real killers. Make sure they're Energizer. I've been told they keep going and going. Fuck, their movie today, be like, let's be different. He just jumps in the hole and dies. Credits. Yeah, I like really cool design on the creature. Right through him. It's the power of love. Boo, 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 boo. It's the power of love. I'm sorry, I just the stop motion version of Stephen Dorff. But I mean, for the time, that's a cool fad. The light inside. She's gonna blow. I forgot he flew like that. Whee! That's a tilt the world ride if I ever saw one. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot that, man. I would not be surprised there'd be people wishing the ending was he's sitting there, his parents come home, his sister and friend are gone, his dog's gone, and he gotta tell his parents the whole thing. Of course, that's I want to say green screen, but interesting idea. Again, why is it that Stephen Dorff doesn't want to talk about this movie? It's a damn good one. I mean, again, like I said, dude, you did Alone in the Dark with Uwe Boll. Ooey. With Ooey. You did Leatherface from 2017. You did fucking Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star. I mean, you might not want to admit this, but this is one of the high points of your career, dude. Blade, this movie, I will put Judgment Night in there. So yeah, I'm sure there'd be people complain about the want. You like, wait a minute, how is the dog alive? And what about this and that? No. You either go along with it or you don't. I'm fine with it. I go along with it. A reward for a good deed. Did good deed. If the parents come home, just lie and say you got robbed. Don't mention demons. Just say you got robbed. And no, of course, Stephen Dorff didn't come back for the sequel. Decent score. Very fun special effects. Nice fun fairy tale to it. Likeable characters. The sister, she's a bit meh. But that's the point, is that there's a bit of an arc where she becomes a sister that he used to know. Lose Tripp, definitely more likable here than the sequel. There's a nice fairy tale aspect to it. No sequel bait ending. And you didn't need a sequel, but obviously they did because this was a bit of a hit. Included on VHS, and the director go back to the well. And sadly, there was nothing in that well left. It was dry. But yeah, that's the date. Still an entertaining movie. Yeah, there's some little nitpicks with some, like the bugs and like when the kid was flying, but you know, effects that you're like, okay, they didn't maybe hold up the best since it. But it's a lot of charming, fun, old school effects. Like I said, the score is very capable. The cast do their jobs fairly well. Go to like the characters, root for them, root for their safety. Like I said, I appreciate the creativity, the creative juices flowing. That's a big mark on 80s sci-fi, horror. This is horror, not sci-fi, but whether it's sci-fi or horror film, this is what people, they gravitate towards. And then people, oh, it's just because of nostalgia. You just say nostalgia plays a part of it, but even nowadays, people look back and they see a charm to it, and they see, wow, look how different it seems. And there's more charm to any of these effects than what you see on fucking Sharknado 25. Or The Asylum. Whatever the crap fest comes out of The Asylum, or more. This is why I get less tolerant on low budget films. Because, I mean, compared to other films, this is a lower budgeted flick, and look what they're able to accomplish. Take your 5 shitty low budget films, get the money together, and make a good film like this. You know, think smarter. Don't do 5 bad movies, do 1 decent to good movie. May work out better in the long run. But anyway, that's my thoughts on The Gate. Still a fun film. Fuck the sequel. One thing I mentioned, I know there's a point where Alex Winter wanted to do a 3D remake of this. I mean, I don't think we needed it, but I do wonder what happened to that damn film. Because, yeah, I remember it just popped in my head before I was ready to head out, that there was supposed to be a 3D remake of The Gate. And Alex Winter, Bill S. Preston Esquire from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, he was going to direct it. But yeah, that obviously never came to be. So yeah, I don't know. That just seems like a weird. Some just seems like a bit weird of business. Like, what the hell happened to that movie? Again, not that I need to see it, but I just they figured, with all the other remakes that come out, I guess maybe they felt, nah, not sure if a remake of The Gate was needed. I mean, well, fuck. I mean, a remake of The Hitcher and The Fog weren't needed, but they did that. But hey, what do I know? So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.